From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, October 22nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.65 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,223 per ounce. Zen is trading at $14, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,463. Antiwar.com reports, citing internal Saudi intelligence documents, an unnamed Saudi official is offering an alternative version of the death of reporter Jamal Khashoggi at the Istanbul consulate just a day after the official version of the story came out and was rejected as nonsensical. Instead of the official claim that Khashoggi picked a fight with 15 different people and then suddenly died, this official said the 15 told Khashoggi they were there to kidnap and drug him and send him to Saudi Arabia. He resisted, at which point they choked him to death, which officials say wasn't meant to be part of the plan. And while choking Khashoggi to death wasn't the plan, the kill team seems to have been well prepared for that eventually, fetching a rug and giving him to a local cooperator to be disposed of. It's not clear what happened after that. While this version of events raises at least as many questions as the previous one, it again attempts to build around the one thing that is vital to the U.S., that the Crown Prince did not know about it. While this is something they desperately want to say is true, it's also one of the least credible things about any narrative. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community, HORIZEN.global. Reuters reports the Trump administration is attempting to strip transgender people of official recognition by creating a narrow definition of gender as being only male and female and unchangeable once it is determined at birth, according to a New York Times report on Sunday. Citing a government memo they obtained, the Times said the Department of Health and Human Services has undertaken an effort across several government departments to establish a legal definition of sex under Title IX, the federal civil rights law that bans discrimination on the basis of sex. That definition would be either male or female, unchangeable, and determined by the genitals a person is born with. Such an interpretation would reverse the expansion of transgender rights that took place under the previous administration of Barack Obama. It would also set back aspirations for tolerance and equality among the estimated 0.7% of the population that identifies as transgender. Most transgender people live with a profound sense that the gender assigned to them at birth was wrong and then transition to the opposite sex, while others live a non-binary or gender-fluid life. A spokeswoman for the Department of Health and Human Services declined to comment on what she called the alleged leaked documents, but cited a ruling by a conservative U.S. district judge as a guide to transgender policy. Ruling on a challenge to one aspect of the Affordable Care Act, U.S. District Judge Reed O'Connor in Texas found in 2016 that there was no protection against discrimination on the basis of gender identity. A leading transgender advocate called the government's reported action a super aggressive, dismissive, dangerous move. Mara Keisling, director of the National Center for Transgender Rights, said in an interview, "They are saying we don't exist." The Obama administration enacted regulations and followed court rulings that protected transgender people from discrimination, upsetting religious conservatives. The Trump administration has sought to ban transgender people from military service and rescinded guidance to public schools recommending that transgender students be allowed to use the restroom of their choice. According to the Times, a draft of the Trump administration memo says that gender should be determined on a biological basis that is clear, grounded in science, objective, and administrable. Medical science seeks to explain what makes people transgender is in its infancy. Psychiatrists no longer consider being transgender a disorder, and several U.S. courts have found the Obama interpretation of protecting transgender people against discrimination as sound. But the Trump administration has chosen to abide by the ruling of O'Connor. Roger Severino, director of the Office of Civil Rights at the Department of Health and Human Services, said in a statement, "The court order remains in full force and effect today, and HHS is abiding by it as we continue to review the issue." Are you an advocate for free market money? Then you need SpendABit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Spendabit.co. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at FPPRadio.com.